All of the 5 proposals stated during the Sofi 2022 Annual Meeting of Stockholders has been approved by the majority of its stockholders.
What now?
In this video, we'll go over, in our opinion, 4 of the key highlights of the Sofi 2022 Annual Meeting of Stockholders. We'll be going over Sofi's small and long-term wins, the approval of the 5 proposals, the reverse stock split execution as answered by Anthony Noto, and Sofi's course of action with the outcome of the government student loan decision. Watch until the end of this video, you don't want to miss any of this. Just a disclaimer, we're not financial advisors and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Before we head on to the video, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be updated once we drop new videos. Without further ado, let's crack right into it. More than a year after Sofi debuted on NASDAQ, Sofi held the first annual meeting of stockholders as a publicly traded company. Here are the key things you might have missed in this meeting. Number 1. Small and long-term wins. Sofi officially started this event with a recap on the highlights of 2021. This included Sofi hitting a record revenue of more than $1 billion in annual adjusted net revenue for the first time. It's even more magical when the company also recorded its 6th consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA in the last quarter of the year, on top of 87% membership growth year over year and a record of consistent and unstoppable growth even in total products. With Galileo, Sofi was able to boost its tech segment as Galileo reached a whopping 100 million client-enabled accounts, up by 67% compared to last year.
We also hit some major milestones in 2021. In March, we announced an agreement to acquire Golden Pacific Bancorp. In June, we became a publicly traded company. And in September, we were thrilled to share the first kickoff at SoFi Stadium with a full house of fans. By Super Bowl weekend, we celebrated all-time high unaided brand awareness as well as a home team victory.
With endless innovation, Sofi was able to step up its game using 4 key points of differentiation: fast, selection, content, and convenience. Sofi launched one of the best innovative credit cards in the finance space that promotes a remarkable rewards program from using other products like checking, savings, loans, and even investments. Along with the rate hikes by the Fed and inflation, Sofi knows no limits in building a diversified business, and you'd know they want success no matter what happens. Number 2. 5 proposals approved. Let's get straight into the agendas. The first proposal is the election of 10 nominees for directors to serve on Sofi's governing body for an additional 1 year or until successors have been duly elected, or when they leave Sofi for good.
Here are your nominees,
as reported in Sofi's proxy statement. The second item is an advisory proposal of the board on say when on pay matters on the frequency of Sofi considering an advisory vote about an executive's compensation. This item is now crossed off the list in favor of a voting frequency of 1 year. In the third item, Sofi proposes to ratify the selection of Deloitte & Touche LLP as Sofi's independent registered public accounting firm. The fourth item amends and restates Sofi's stock plan to increase shares available this year and change provisions starting next year. The last and most controversial proposal for this year's meeting is the amendment to give the board power to effect a reverse stock split next year. The shareholders gave all the proposals green signals from the shareholders, and we're looking forward to see the fruits of Sofi's master plan. Number 3. Reverse stock split execution. Now that Sofi shareholders have given Sofi board of directors the authority to effect a reverse stock split, in what situation will the board execute this power? Here's what Commander Noto had to say to that.
The headline I would say is this is a break in case of an emergency type of proposal to give our board the option, if it chooses in the best interest of shareholders, to execute. It is not actually a decision to do a reverse stock split. It is a shareholder vote to give the board the authority to move forward one for the next year if they so deem. I've lived through the financial crisis of 2001 and 2002. The financial crisis is in 2008 through 2010. And obviously we're going through a huge dislocation in the market over the last 7+ months. As we entered the shareholder meeting, we thought about all the ranges of scenarios that could unfold over the next year and considered what to do to best be prepared. So this is very much about giving the board an option to be prepared for some scenario that we can't predict today. We are incredibly proud of what we've built, but markets can be irrational. We think we have a durable business, so our confidence is in no way reflected in the ask for this vote for our board. What is reflected in the ask for this vote is prudent management. We want to give our board the option that if we enter a market that's even more irrational than what we're in now, and is hard to understand the transparency through, that they could take this action if it was deemed in the best interest of shareholders. Many shareholders don't realize that to do a reverse stock split requires a shareholder vote. If you don't ask for that shareholder vote during the annual shareholder meeting, and for some reason you need it down the road because the markets were irrational, the board doesn't have the optionality to do that and would have to conduct a shareholder vote at that time, which may be pressing. I'd like to make it very clear for everyone, this is in no way an indication of our outlook. It's actually prudent financial management, prudent financial governance. We could not be more confident in the durability of our business, the trajectory of what we've been able to accomplish to date, the strategy that we're using going forward, and the team to execute it.
SoFi has always been thinking a few steps ahead, and them proposing to give powers to the board to execute a reverse stock split when deemed necessary is just a precaution of the uncertainties of what's ahead of the market. Number 4, student loan debt. During the annual shareholder meeting, the question whether the federal government will pay off the canceled student loan debt in case it comes up with the final decision to SoFi was raised.
We have received the following question. Regarding student loans, if the government cancels student loans, will they pay off the amount of loans to SoFi that they carry on their books?
SoFi CFO Chris Lapointe answered this question.
Hey, this is Chris Lapointe. So to date, all proposals regarding student loan forgiveness have been focused on forgiveness of a portion of federal student loans. We at SoFi refinance both private student loans provided by private lenders and federal student loans provided by the government. As part of the refinancing process with SoFi, the original student loan, whether private or federally issued, is paid in full and becomes a private loan. Therefore, if the federal government were to cancel all or a portion of outstanding federal student loans, it would not pay anything to SoFi, as all loans on our balance sheet are private loans.
To sum it all up, SoFi is still showing huge potential in the up and coming years. Some SoFi investors may have raised eyebrows in the approval of the 5th proposal, but if you've watched our video, SoFi stock reverse split make or break, and understood the underlying reasons for this move, you might realize that this is also Commander Noto and SoFi's way of trying to save SoFi stock in case of further chaos. A special shout out to everyone in our Patreon community. You guys truly help to make these videos possible, and we really appreciate all the support. Shout out to Arthur Magazu, Wei Chu, Daniel Corbett, Mr. Welfare, Casey Patel, Jeff Sherman, Gregory Villar, Bo Park, Denzel, Reginald Davis, Les Broadway, Christian Cardelphi, Kevin Bofrand, Jay Bone, Daniel Zinson, and ABC Sam. Thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate it, and until next time, peace.